there we go. No more hotels, no more casinos, no more towers, no more freaking street performers. We're back to normal. We're finally back to freaking normal now. So I've got a pit stop, and that is to pick up Blue, right? Because the cats only need somebody to come into the house and check on them, make sure they're cool. But we found this really nice boarding place near where I live. They love Blue too. He's just because he's super nice. Doesn't get any trouble. He just wants to get pet on. He's chill, man. Like, I tell you something. I love a lot of people love the idea of like, all right, we're gonna get a dog. Oh, let's get a puppy. Because then you raise it, you have this deep connection to it. You were there when it was just right, this little thing, and I'm not saying I don't see the appeal, but don't forget, now you're potty training this thing. Now they're kind of crazy for a while before they kind of grow up. So you have to skip that whole stage. Blue, the big ass 140-pound 5-year-old Great Dane, instantly chilling, right? Plus, it's already kind of fucked up with all of the just breeders and pet store. It's not awesome, right? So if you can, or if there's a shelter nearby, it's definitely worth checking out. I stop at the animal shelter every so often anyway, just because I like seeing all the cats that are in there and kind of petting around them and just whatever. That's where all my 4 cats are. Only one was from this shelter, the orange one, Rambo. 2 of the other ones from a Columbus shelter, and then the last one was kind of from this one woman who sort of was running her own kind of deal. It was still good, but that's that's just better. Right. But, of course, it's your own life. But, yeah, it feels good to be back and get to pet all of them. But no, so plan for today with Chest, after I go pick up Blue and bring him to the gym, it's going to be go nuts, right? It's going to be go wild. What I really want to do, what I really want to do is just go crazy. I know I ate some extra carbs over these last couple days, plus just eating a bunch of random trash. Not trash, but even just beef jerky or just whatever. It's airport food. It's not just eating a big bowl of ground beef with some rice at home. That's extra clean, and I'm just now kind of starting, or not just now, but over the last few months, starting to actually realize oh shit, if I'm eating just straight up ground beef, eggs, turkey, tuna, chicken, and then carb-wise, I don't really venture too far from just oatmeal, maybe some grain, I'll throw some bagels in there just because I like them, rice, things along that line, and try to chill out on my legit just sweets sugar intake, which is going to throw my insulin reaction all out of the wazoo. Well, I just kind of feel better, and I think that's just the nature of getting bigger, because now it's as though if I have to put a ton of stuff through my body like a filter, right, the more just crap that it does kind of make me feel a certain way. But also I'm prone to that, because if I'm eating super clean, if I throw in 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, it on the last road trip I was on a couple of weeks ago, stops, got 2 cheeseburgers and a fry. Not good. That was the worst fast food had ever made my stomach feel, because I've been eating clean for so long, or at least the last couple of months. So yeah, I'm definitely beginning to see the appeal of just the physical attributes. But yeah, since I got a bunch of extra food in my system, and I can tell I'm a little bit water retentive just from traveling, then I know I'm going to be pumped like a mofo. So I want to make use of that extra food and probably a little bit of extra carved upness and really bring it with today's lift. My weight in the morning was 252 flat, but by the time I get back to a regular day schedule, probably in a day or two, I should be back at a 250, and then we'll keep kind of coming down from there, slow and steady. But I can guarantee there won't be anybody in here for Chest, so there's no excuse. Not that I'm ever looking for excuses, but yeah, it'll be a good one. And I'm still riding that just excitement from the Olympia, where I know You know what it's like. If you were there and you get to see everybody and now you're going back to your own regular gym, or you know somebody who was, I can almost guarantee that they or you are just a little bit more invigorated for your training, because you get to see these freaking just freaks walking around who are all basically on their game 100%. You know, and when you're surrounded by people like that, it makes you want to do it too, right? You don't want to be the odd one out. You want to be there with them, like, all right, man, let's get this shit. You know, even if you're not a 280-pound dude and you're rocking like 190-pound whatever, like, it's not a size thing. You know, it's more so a contextual results kind of thing. If you're bringing it and you're walking around like a beast and you know it, then people are going to be able to tell. That's not the point, but they will. All right, I know I can, at least when I see some of these guys walking around. But yeah, nothing else to say, so let's go pick up the dog and get in there for chest. All right, let's not start so crazy and use some kind of converging cable press as movement number one, which I really don't mind. And when I'm dieting down, I almost prefer sometimes, because how are my forearms and my elbows and my shoulder going to feel if I try to load up 3 plates on Smith, especially after you're traveling around, not sleeping super well. So using a squeezing movement first on a day where you might not be totally on your game recovery-wise, I think it's a good move. And I'm never going to rip my pec off with this much weight. So I'm going to make good damn use of it. One more minimum. Okay. Let's move on. Let's do a different, heavier press. That was a good starter, but it's time to pick something else. 4 big ones. This will be good. And where did I put my phone? Let me pause the TikTok edit I'm listening to. But one benefit that was unbeknownst to me for quite a while of starting chest with a little bit more of a squeezing movement is it just acts like a primer. So now even doing a feeler rep with 3 plates, like, I can feel my upper chest firing way more because I already went through 2 sets of really squeezing it. So this set's a little more hefty, brutish, but it'll be good. Two. Okay. Okay. One more of those. That was good. think 2 of those will be enough. Whew. Now let's move on. This workout is 2 is the theme of this workout, that's for sure. All right, so now that I've done a couple sets, 3 plates on Smith won't be so wild. And I did not sit here and do 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, because I'm already exposed to 4 plates worth of weight on that incline press. In terms of heft, it's pretty similar. So I think if you catch yourself re-warming up on every movement, you could be killing a little bit of time. Never hurt yourself, but I know that 3 plates is just about as heavy as those 4 plate sets. So I'll do a feeler, as long as things are good, I can get right to it. You know, I'm warmed up, and then now I'm ready. So I can jump from movement to movement with working set weight, you know, and not have to just waste time. Okay, let's touch up. Like, your chest is ready. Your chest doesn't know if it's on the Smith or if it's on that machine over there. It knows how heavy it is. So if you know that that heft is within the realm that you're warmed up for, I think it's a work. But, you know, within reason, of course. Don't just jump straight to 3 plates out of nowhere if that's crazy for you. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some pec deck. No, just one of those is okay. Sleeper. Oh, who's a sleepy little dog? He did his workout earlier. He's good. Good boy. Nothing fancy, no squeezing. Just full on reps until I can't do another one. Or at least, you know, I can't do them with any reasonable range of motion. Yeah. Oh, one more. Same style, but a little nastier. Yeah. 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 All right. Back to cables. We're almost done. I think one more good one could be it, but we'll see. All right. 100 pounds on either cable. Here's what I'm thinking. Start off with kind of crossover presses, which, you know, they get clowned on a little bit, but it does let me, you know, push my arms a little further into the range of motion. Usually with a cable press, you have to stop right here, right in your center line. But if you cross over and alternate each one, instead of going to here, now you can go all the way over. So as a finisher, actually getting like an extra crazy squeeze as hard as I can, that's what I want. I don't think every set has to be like that, but for a few, I don't mind. So let's make sure these things are these handles aren't like perfectly symmetrical. They've got like a little angle to them. But there we go. Yeah, let's hit these. Burn out with like bent over just regular presses. And let's see, that could be it if they're good enough. But if I think I got to do one more set, I'm cool with that too. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's find some lighting. Chest complete for today. All right. That actually ended up being a little crazier than I expected. And part of it was the fact that I think I warmed up really well with those cable pressing sets. So then when I moved on to the heavy incline, I mean, 4 plates for me on that machine is pretty freaking heavy, but it felt solid. And then a quick 3-plater on the Incline Smith, followed by the pec deck and then a little cable finisher. So what was that total? 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, 8. That's actually a little more volume than I normally do. Normally, I don't remember the last 8 set chest day that I've thrown down. But, yeah, let's just see how we're looking pump-wise. Oh. I appreciate that it's beginning to get slightly colder out and that the gym is no longer, you know, a fucking oven like it was for kind of quite a while. But yeah, now we're actually getting somewhere in terms of not even posing, just kind of posting up. Yeah, who do I remind you of? How do they do it? I don't know. I don't know how to do the men's physique poses. But yeah, let's see how we're looking. Oh my goodness. All right, one more old school side chest, and then I can be posed out. Oh man. These poses will be getting easier and easier to hold the leaner I get. But no, not even 2 months in, I'm starting to see some shape. I'm starting to see some shape I was not seeing 2 months ago. And I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I mean, shit, man. Cardio, counting calories, it definitely didn't hurt this situation, right? It definitely did not hurt. But no, that was good. Now let's just pack this shit up. Look at that pose down, because now I want to see what it looked like. And then we get in the car. So that's solid. All right. Yeah, that was good. That was hefty. That was hefty, that's for sure. Definitely making use of some, you know, extra calories and a little bit of just water retention from travel. And this is one thing that actually kind of blows, right? This is it's not as fun to be a heavier dude flying, especially if it's a long flight and, you know, the seats aren't, you know, maybe naturally cooling, right? So what I mean by that is, I mean, even probably the worst case, you know, this is maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I'm bulking up, you know, I go see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, whichever one the second one was. You know, the first one I didn't even watch, but the second one I did see, right? I liked it. And it was at this like AMC theater, and, you know, it's all fancy and they got these leather seats, but there's no airflow, right? It's not like a you know, like a fabric seat. So I don't even realize it at the time. I was like maybe 250, but back then 250 was like heavy, bulked up weight for me. And I'm sitting there, and I get up. We all get ready to leave, and like, one of my buddies looks at me, and he goes, "Hey, turn around." Back of my shirt, back of my pants, completely just drenched. So I had to switch shirts after the first flight because and it was even a short one. It was only like 2 hours. Technically 3, including the hour where we just sat on the plane pre-flight, right? But no, so that hurts a little. That'll hit you just a touch, right? So if you're already prone to stinking, let's just say keep some deodorant on you at all times. If you're planning on getting above that 200-pound barrier, even whatever, right? But no, so yeah, finally home and can get back to a regular ass routine. Not as fun doing cardio in a hotel gym, just because it's just not cool. Right? Having a regular gym to do it at it kind of wins. I definitely want to get some more sauna exposure. Not like post-workout or anything. I think that's a little bit too much. But post-cardio in the morning, I really like. Like, that's actually kind of cool. I actually kind of feel a little more, I don't know, I feel like I get a little more out of the cardio in the morning when I do it. And part of it is just, I think it's a stress in a decent sense. Like, if cardio is really easy and it took no effort at all to do, then you wouldn't get anything out of it. So I'm not a guy where I'm like, oh, I bet there's like heat shock proteins that get released from the, I don't know. Right? I know when I get out and I sweat and I was, you're breathing a little heavy, your heart's racing, you're moving water throughout your system to actually like sweat and cool yourself down. I like just usually a quick 15, but I don't know what the temperature is. It always kind of fluctuates because the people that go in there, sometimes they leave the door open or they leave it cracked, or maybe just somehow the heat regulator is always bouncing around. So some days it's like an oven and I got to get out in 10 minutes. And then other days I might stay in for 20 because I'm like, well, what's going on here? And it's not even, I'm not even feeling it, right? But that'll be the plan for tomorrow morning. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me there so we can get back on a regular upload kind of schedule. I might do a little abs as well. I don't really throw abs in much, but on occasion they get worked, especially as I'm dieting down. And maybe it's just bro science, but like the logic that if you really kind of hit something as you get leaner, you could potentially add a little bit of extra detail to the muscle. So somebody might hear that and think that's total jargon, but people were kind of hyping up hitting your calves daily because they'd say in a bro sciencey bodybuilder way, like, oh, calves are a stubborn muscle group. And then later on in the future, it comes out like, oh, your calf muscles are actually like more prone to stimulus from daily activation because they're a muscle that's kind of trained to be walked on all the time. Like, there's a lot of gems of info where it's from an older bodybuilder guy, 90s, 80s, whatever, where the explanation was only kind of discovered from trial and error. And then now we're in kind of a wave of like, okay, let's find the real reason. Let's figure out why this, and this actually really works and like explain it perfectly. But at the end of the day, I mean, if this results in this, what really changed if now we know the exact mechanism in the center, right? Because, I mean, so the argument to that is, well, then you get a deeper understanding of what's really happening. You can improve, excuse me, but you can get a deeper understanding of what's really happening. You can improve the, input scenario to maximize the output. Like, yes, of course, that's correct. I'm not saying don't try to figure out the exact scientific best situation for muscle growth or anything like that. But on a user end, right, the user experience of working out, no matter how much info there is out there so far, it's hard to beat the basics. It might be impossible to beat the basics for a freaking while of, lift heavy, eat your protein, do cardio, stay active. I mean, those are pretty basic. There's nothing fancy about it. But There's a reason why the guys in the 80s or whatever, they didn't know jack shit about like whatever kind of fast twitch, X twitch, whatever that a lot of guys today really care about and put a lot of emphasis on, and they still look like beasts. So what that tells me is, I'm not going to knock it just because maybe I don't agree with the logic of something, of course, and I want to improve my training's stimulus anyway, right? Don't act like I'm anti-science here, but I just need, to kind of express that I really value that 80% of working out that is just going hard, being consistent, and especially just understanding your diet and calories. Like the guy who puts X hours into figuring out his training versus the guy who put X hours into figuring out his diet, the diet guy wins every time. Like it's not even a question. So of course you should be the dude who's doing both. Improve your diet and improve your training, right? But the things that really have a massive impact on your overall kind of gain structure over time, right? It's not doing a supinated curl versus a pronated curl. It's clocking hours and being able to look back at your year and saying, all right, 365 days passed. I went to the gym 300 something times. I tracked my calories damn near every day. I mean, I've got my, this isn't like an autofocus lens, but my calorie tracking app that I use, it's got like 1,500 days tracked on it because I've been using the same thing, just constantly plugging it in so I know what's going on. Those are the things that are really going to have an impact. And everything else is a little more like 20% or less. Right? So all that's to say is, if I were to judge someone's routine, like, taking it from however much of an authority I am, and, whatever, I'm going to look at consistency, effort, whether or not the guy is, like, intervening with his diet and, making sure he hits his protein and everything else. Like, those are the first three things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for that consistency, effort, diet, and then after that, I mean, it can be very individual based, but those three are pretty damn important, so that's, stand by that pretty hard, at least right now, but I don't foresee that statement changing very much. But yeah, so plan for tomorrow, either a back day or a rest day. I'm not exactly sure which. I almost wanted to make today a rest day, but I kind of already did because I slept in like way like I got a regular night's sleep, and then I almost got like another how many freaking hours extra just from like staying up all night on the plane and getting back late and everything else. So I kind of already got extra rest to accommodate for today's workout. But tomorrow I might feel like I need a little extra. That still includes cardio and sauna in the morning. I would have to really be feeling it to say like, okay, we got to cut out cardio in the morning and do a full day of nothing and just relax. That's a bit rarer. But on the days that I do take a rest day from the lift itself, to say cardio is going to happen is kind of an understatement. Sometimes I might even do a little extra, nothing crazy. Like I might do 30 minutes on the bike and then 15 minutes on like a, maybe like an incline treadmill, 3.5 mile an hour. And the treadmill, you really don't feel too much. Oh, excuse me. So if you're a loved one, go to the gym, you work out, you have a lift, but you never actually branched into the cardio side of things, I guess this is my challenge, right? This is my challenge to you. Next workout, no matter what it is, maybe not legs. I think cardio post-workout is okay. I definitely would not do 30 minutes on the bike after a leg day. That is a little much. But like after chest or arms or back, maybe don't even do the bike, right? The bike's actually even a little bit harder. Just do the treadmill, right? 3 mile an hour, 5% incline, 30 minutes, even 15 minutes, and then just see how you feel. And, just come back to me, right? I'm sure if 100 people are in that situation and they just listen to me say that, I don't know, man. And maybe 3 might do it. And that seems a little bit a little bit optimistic. But all that's just kind of value the guys who do their cardio for real, because everybody else is skipping it. So you get a little bit of a badge of honor, like, ah, shit, all right, I know I'm doing it. Everybody else is wussing out. They wouldn't even bother, right? If you do the things that no one else is willing to do, right, you're going to be in a position that nobody else is in. And I know 30 minutes of cardio doesn't seem like it's that big of a differentiator, but I promise it is, right? More than you might think. It's it's kind of like the logic of the military instilling of like, okay, make your bed every morning. It's not because having like a made bed somehow makes you this more effective, more whatever, but it just sets a standard on like a low level thing which you're kind of going to uphold with everything else in your day in general, and you just start off with an easy win. So my make your bed every day is doing your cardio every morning. And even if you don't want to go to the gym, just do a freaking walk, man. Right? Do a couple of blocks wherever you're at. Maybe you're in the city, maybe you're in the country, whatever. Bring your dog with you, even better. Right? So that's my challenge. There's no way to know if any of these guys are going to do it. Right? I'm talking about the ones who hear this and they might say, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah, go on. Talk about cardio more. Yeah, sure. Right? I know there's a lot of characters like that. Don't listen to them. Right? Stay strong. But no, it's time to go to bed, get some food. Or I guess other way around. Get some food, go to bed, edit this video together. I promise the next X days of videos will be at a normal upload time. No more of this late night shit. I'm actually on it now. But yeah, that's all I got. So I'll see you for whatever tomorrow brings, be it a lift, a rest day, or anything in between. So I'll see you then.